This video is brought to you by hoodbeast.com. Design your own custom hoodies. hoodbeast.com.
Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zach Lee. With the whole Kyrie Irving saga finally over, the media can no longer really beat that to death. They have moved back to an older topic from earlier this summer, the departure of LeBron James from the Cleveland Cavaliers. We all know that the likeliness of LeBron James leaving the Cavs is at an all-time high. Back in 2010 when he first left, I think there were a few or a decent amount of people that doubted that he would actually leave. This time though, I think most people expect or even hope that he does leave the Cavs next summer. I even think some higher ups in the Cavs organization expect or maybe even want LeBron James to leave, since reports are still coming out that say the Cavs are operating under the pretenses that LeBron James is as good as gone. So now with LeBron James being as good as gone, the question of course has to be, where will he go to? Where will LeBron James end up? So today I thought it would be a good day to kind of take a look at some teams where I feel LeBron James could look to sign with next summer. That's the video we got today, so let's go. We're gonna start with probably the most obvious one that I think all of you expected to be on this list, the Los Angeles Lakers. I know you've all heard it by now. LeBron James is going to LA. That's said about every single star player that becomes a free agent throughout the entire history of NBA history. And like I said, the media has been hyping this up again over the past couple of days. Just today, reports coming out saying that the only reason the Lakers signed Kentavious Caldwell-Pope this summer is because he has the same agent as LeBron James, meaning that they can now legally contact LeBron James' agent since he's the agent of one of their players. And they're doing this so they can kind of give his agent some insight onto what their plans are. Agent then tells that to LeBron in hopes that it kind of persuades LeBron to sign with the Lakers. They kind of get a head start in recruiting LeBron. That's if these reports are true and that's what they're actually doing. And I just want to say, if they are actually doing that, I don't know how I'd feel if I were KCP. If I learned that they only signed me so they could get to LeBron James, I'd feel kind of used. Then again, they are paying me $18 million this year, so I'd probably get over it. And the whole appeal of the Lakers to LeBron is supposed to be about helping him build his legacy. That's all LeBron James has been talking about for the past couple of years. Building his legacy and chasing the ghosts that played in Chicago Bulls. Chasing the ghost of Michael Jordan. Joining a team, a franchise like the Los Angeles Lakers would certainly help with that, because let's be real here, I am not a Lakers fan at all. But even I have to admit that the Lakers are one of, if not the most iconic team in the NBA. Playing for them, winning a championship with the Los Angeles Lakers automatically boosts your legacy score credit by like 10%. So if LeBron James really just does want to boost his legacy, then winning a championship with the Lakers will help, and that's the reason why he could go there. San Antonio Spurs. In my mind, this is the most legitimate dark horse that not that many people are talking about. LeBron James is a huge, massive supporter of Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs. He's already come out and say that he believes Greg Popovich is the greatest coach of all time.
He's the greatest coach of all time. I've said that over and over and over.
And the Spurs organization as a whole, to me, it just seems like it's a perfect match for LeBron James. What LeBron does is already what the Spurs do. We already know LeBron James likes to take his rest during the regular season. The Spurs have been resting their best players since I can remember. So there would be no disconnect there. And this could also help his legacy too, because while the Spurs might not be in the same category as the Lakers or the Celtics in terms of if you win with them, you're going down as a legend, they are also not too far below those teams. They may be like a notch below the Lakers and the Celtics. And then there's also the appeal of getting to play with one of the greatest coach in the NBA. LeBron James throughout his career has never played with an all-time great coach. That's something that both Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan have had in their careers that LeBron James hasn't had. No offense to Eric Spoelstra. He is by far the best coach that LeBron James has had, but he is just still really young. He's a good coach, but just a young coach, so it's too early to put him in the conversations like Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich. So that could be a huge appeal to LeBron James, getting to play for someone who he calls the greatest coach in the NBA. It's not too many opportunities you get to pair the greatest player and the greatest coach together. Speaking of pairing together, it's not every opportunity that you can compare the two biggest threats, the two biggest players who can single-handedly cause the Golden State Warriors serious problems together on the same team either. LeBron James is one of them. We've seen what he can do against the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals 3 straight years in a row now. And the other one is Kawhi Leonard. We've only seen one game, or not even one game, but one half of a game. But in that half game that Kawhi Leonard played against the Warriors, he was giving them maybe even more problems than they could handle. He was out there beasting on the Golden State Warriors. Let's not even get that twisted. So you compare LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard together, and on top of that, add in the best coach in the NBA too, and that's a lot of problems all of a sudden that it would be created for the Golden State Warriors. Did anyone say banana boat time? That is the only reason I could see LeBron James signing with the Houston Rockets next summer, but it is a pretty good reason and a pretty realistic reason too. They already have Chris Paul. They're rumored to be trading for Carmelo Anthony at some point. And then they're also seen as a possible destination for Dwayne Wade when he's bought out by the Chicago Bulls. So they would have 3 of the 4 pieces. The only one they'll be missing would be LeBron James. The only problem after that though would be the money. It would be extremely expensive. Right now they're paying James Harden nearly $40 million a year up until 2023. That money isn't going anywhere. On top of that, Chris Paul is about to be a free agent next year too, so they're gonna have to pay him. Other than that, you can swap out the contracts of Ryan Anderson for Carmelo Anthony, since if they were going to get Carmelo Anthony, Ryan Anderson would have to go, and they make close to the same amount of money per year. But then you have to bring in LeBron James, who's going to need a lot of money, and then Dwayne Wade, who you could probably pay a little bit less because of his age. But already without Wade and LeBron, you're looking at close to $100 million off the rip just from Carmelo, CP3, and James Harden. The NBA salary cap is $99 million, so they're already right there. But they're gonna go over that, and then they're going to go over the luxury tax line too, which is $113 million a year. Once you go over that, you have to pay the NBA every dollar that you go over the luxury tax line. For example, if the Houston Rockets had a salary of $130 million that they had to pay to their players that season, they would have to pay the NBA an additional $17 million for being $17 million over the luxury tax line. And I think they'd be well above that $17 million line. I mean, they're already over it right now this season by $1 million. So you could be looking at a luxury tax bill of upwards close to $30 million. That's a lot of money for the owner to be paying out of pocket. And that's why this rumor is actually kind of given some legs. People already think that this could be in the works, that Chris Paul, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Dwayne Wade all plan to rendezvous in Houston next summer. And to add on to that, there's a rumor that that's why the Rockets have been put up for sale. The owner caught word of that all these players are about to come to Houston, and was like, I ain't about to be paying that luxury tax bill. So he decided just to sell the team right now. This is the last one, and it's probably the least likely too, but I can see it happening for 2 reasons, and 2 reasons only. LeBron James will play with the Sixers if A, he didn't want to go to the Western Conference, he wants to keep ruling the Eastern Conference and making the finals year after year after year, or B, because this team shows tremendous potential and that they're only one LeBron James, aka a superstar with championship experience, away from being actual title contenders themselves. Because right now the Sixers are seen as a team of the future. In like 5 years, they will be championship ready, if they can stay healthy. Can't forget to say that, if they can stay healthy. Unfortunately, that label attaches to this young team. So in 5 years, they will be really good, which right out the rip wouldn't make sense for LeBron James, because he doesn't have time to sit around waiting for all this young talent to develop. No, he wants to win now. In 5 years, he'll be approaching 40. And that's why I said this team would have to show tremendous promise in just this one season. If they can do that and prove that if they had LeBron James on this roster, that they would be considered championship contenders as soon as the 2018-2019 NBA season, then I think LeBron James would give some serious thought to join the Philadelphia 76ers, because he would have a chance to win rings now as well into the future when he's beyond his prime. Since when he's older, you'll still have Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid be really young and really dominant in the NBA, and they'll be able to carry him to even more rings, which would extend his lifetime in the NBA and his reign in the NBA. And while that might sound nice, it still is an if scenario. If they show a lot of promise this year and can stay healthy this year, and that is a huge if. It's also worth noting though that Ben Simmons and LeBron James are really close, so maybe that could help sway him in Philadelphia's direction next summer. But that's it. Those are the teams that I feel have the best chance of signing LeBron James when he's a free agent. But then again, who knows? Maybe something happens this season, something huge, and another team emerges as a favorite to land LeBron James. Or maybe the Cavaliers do the impossible and upset the Warriors in the finals this year, and LeBron James does stay with Cleveland. But it's question of the day time. What team do you think LeBron James is going to in the summer of 2018? Let me know down in the comment section below, but now let's take a look at what you guys said in yesterday's video. And yesterday, I asked you guys if you could have a debate, talk to any NBA player, who would it be? And here's what you guys said. Question of the day, Kawhi Leonard, because maybe he will say something. Question of the day, I would love to debate with Kyrie Irving why the earth isn't flat. Gravity alone could debate that for me though. Question of the day, Kobe Bryant for sure. That man is a basketball brainiac. He knows so much about basketball, and believe me, I cracked down on him so hard about super hard questions. I'm asking him everything. Who's your top 5 favorite player? Do you think the draft lottery is rigged? Do you think the 2002 Western Conference Finals was rigged? Opinions on vetoing the CP3 trade, all of it. I would for sure listen to that interview. I want to know the answers to those too. And Kobe Bryant would be the player that I'd want to interview, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like an interview with Kawhi Leonard would just be so interesting because I have no idea how it would go. But that's it for today. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Don't forget to smack that like button if you did, and subscribe for more daily NBA videos. Until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team STC, and I'm out of here. Peace.